Another thing that's been ticking me off lately is all this talk about fake news, like they're trying to censor like anything that's on the alternative web, like all fellow YouTuber news channels that they're all, oh, that's fake news, you shouldn't even listen to them. And like, oh, it's one thing to say that, but they're like, oh, we're going to censor our search results. Like, we're not going to put that in news anymore because we deemed it this as it's fake news. We don't want people looking at that news because it doesn't fit our prerogative and stuff, or it doesn't fit our agenda. And I mean, who really cares if there's some fake news out there? I mean, what's wrong with a little satire? So maybe you gotta dig around some of these sites and notice that they're fake news, but I mean, after a while you notice that, oh, if it comes from the Onion, it must be a little fake news thing. It's probably a little bit funny, or making fun at some politician or something. It's just, you can't just take satire and just outlaw it and say, well, no one can watch this satire. I mean, it's kind of on the responsibility of the person watching to figure out if it's fake or not. I mean, I remember when I was knee-high to a little cricket or something back in grade school, and they had these tests about, hey, is this fact or opinion? And you had to go through these things, and some of them are like, they're very basic, you think, but I talk to other people nowadays and they never even know what I'm talking about. You're like, well, you never had to determine that, oh, I like pizza, that's an opinion. Pizza is edible, that's a fact. I mean, these things aren't like really debatable. Like, someone, if they're saying like, oh, Donald Trump's an evil man, well, that's an opinion. Like, I mean, they're stating it, it's a fact, but you just got to understand that, like, no, they just think Donald Trump's an evil man. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. I mean, that's to be determined. But essentially there's still only one truth out there. It's either true or it's not. So whether or not Donald Trump is evil, it really depends on your definition of evil. Like, and then that varies from religion to religion, and people think different things are evil, So, like, how can you say that, oh, it's a fact that he's an evil person? You're like, well, it doesn't fit. But it seems like a lot of these people who want to start censoring other fake news is just like, well, they disagree with their opinion, and they're trying to say, like, oh, look, they're trying to say that this is true. They're like, no, they're just trying to say that that's what they think, that's not, this is my opinion. They're giving their opinion. They're maybe adding some thoughts to what is true, like Donald Trump did such and such. Maybe he did. Okay, well, so let's assume he did. Like, so that's actual news because it's true. And then I think this about it, and they add their opinion afterwards. Well, I mean, that's just an opinion. It doesn't make it fake news if you disagree with their opinion. A lot of people just constantly confuse what they believe to be true with what they know to be true. I mean, let me give you an example. So my girlfriend tells me she had eggs and bacon for breakfast. Now, I believe her, but, it's just a belief. I didn't see her do it. Now, if I watched her eat pancakes, then I know she had pancakes for breakfast, and that's what I know. Like, I witnessed it, and I gotta believe the perception of my own senses, That's what that's what they're telling me, that she had pancakes, and and she, then I know that's true, but I witnessed it, so that's part of how I know it. It seems a lot of belief systems are just on other person say so. You don't necessarily have personal witness of that what they're saying is true. I mean, you might have a personal experience and interpret in such a way like, oh, well, that means that this is true. But I mean, that if you look at it logically, strictly, it's not necessarily true. But people will fight to the death over what they believe. You can't prove it one way or the other. I mean, if you could prove it one way or the other, there'd only be one religion, because everyone would be like, oh, that's the proof right there. I mean, you got to believe this way or you're kind of stupid. I mean, but you can't prove these things. They're all hyperspective, and they're kind of guesses. Use a little bit of the evidence available to you and make your own opinion. And, and not every religion is true. There's only one truth out there. So, like, if two religions have a disagreement, well, you can't say they're both true. You're like, well, this is true and this is true, even though they contradict each other. That can't be the case, so one of them has to be true. So, but people will, oh, yours contradicts mine, so mine is true, and they want to fight over it, and they'll go to war. I mean, it gets serious, but, I mean, it just spilling over into fake news. It just, oh, this is an acceptable thing. If I believe such and you believe something that differs with that, well, then I can censor you, we can fight, we can do whatever. That's just kind of the way it's going lately, and I kind of been ticking me off. I wish people would just step back and say, hey, well, I don't know that this to be true. I believe it to be true, and there's probably nothing you're going to say that convince me that it's not true, but, like, I don't know if I want to, like, start hurting you because I believe it's true. I mean, it's just the belief I have, and this is how I live my life, and and it doesn't hurt you, so why do you care what I believe, you know? But a lot of people out there are like, oh, well, I would, you know, my belief needs to be extrapolated onto everyone else, and like, and if they don't want to believe and act how I say they gotta act, well, then that's gonna tick me off, and we're gonna censor them, or we're gonna make it illegal. I mean, what you believe to be true isn't always what is true. I mean, you gotta learn to differentiate between what you know and what you believe, and it's not an easy thing to do, because in your head, like, things you believe to be true might as well just be true, because there's no real, like, fence put up that says, oh, this is the stuff you know, the stuff you witnessed and whatever, and this is the stuff you believe, the stuff you just heard about, had, you know, third party tell you about. In your head, you're like, oh, I believe them both as if I saw them. But that's, you need to learn to put that fence up in your mind. So if somebody steps on your beliefs, you're not instantly mad. Where if someone steps on your knowledge, you're like, well, I don't think you ate lunch today. And you're like, well, I know I ate lunch today. And they're like, well, I don't think you did. And you're like, well, I'm pretty sure I did, because I was there the whole time and I watched myself do it even. You know, at least then you have grounds to be upset, because the guy's actually questioning your insanity. I mean, he's saying, hey, like, you don't even know what you see. Like, I mean, that's at least grounds to be upset, because he's calling you a nut job.